Let's move into the next part. So that's the interval notation and compound inequalities. So far we've dealt with the single one or the simple ones. Let's go with compound, and hopefully you remember what those are. We have the betweens. We call them, and then we have the ors. Or it could be and. Now with this, we have the betweens where we say the x is between the numbers. So x is between two numbers. And hopefully you remember this from an earlier math class. And when we say a between, that means something like this. So -5, so x is between -5 and 1. So x is greater than -5 and x is less than 1. So we have a between, a compound thing. Multiple things are happening. And then you can have also the or, and we can make it an and. We have, let's say this one's like x is less than -5 or x is greater than 1. You have those types. So they have multiple things going on with it. So when we graph it out, we're going to graph it using numbers and number line and everything, just like we talked about earlier. So with this, let's just do a number line here for the first one. Now we said that x is between two numbers, and here x is going to be between -5 and 1. So on a number line, we're going to put down -5. We're going to put 1 here. And since x is between those, we're going to shade between, which makes sense, duh. So we shade between them. And here, when it comes to these parts here, that's a less than or equal to and a less than or equal to. So does that mean that we're using brackets or parentheses for equal to? We're using brackets. So that means here for both of these, we're going to use brackets. Now, with it again, each time it has to cup around the shaded region. They can't hit the back of the actual parenthesis or back of the bracket. The bracket and parenthesis must cup around the shaded area. So that means here, we know it's a bracket on this side, and it must cup around the shaded area. So that means our bracket should cup around like this on this side, because it cups around that shaded area. And then on this side, we're going to use the other one because it needs to, again, cup around that shaded area there. Cup around the shaded area. And so that's not bad. We can do that. That's not really hard at all. Not hard really at all. But let's go ahead and write that so that we're dealing with an interval notation wise. And that one's going to be even easier because all you have to do is just look at what's here and write down what you see. So we know we're going to go from -5 to 1 because it starts at -5, it ends at 1. And then we have a bracket on both of these. So we put brackets around here. Bam. So not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. Now on the other side, and so this will be interval notation for this part here. Interval notation. Sorry, I put that too close together. So interval, my bad. Notation. All right. And then the other one, I'm not going to go ahead and do the interval notation on the second one because I have to show you something new, something else. But I'm going to actually still graph it out with our brackets and parentheses. So here, we're going to put -5 down. We're going to put 1 here. And here we're going to do x is less than -5. So it means for x is less than -5, so we shade over here. Smaller than -5, any number that's smaller than it. And then here we're going to do x is greater than 1 because x is bigger than 1. So we shade everything over here on this side. And again, because these are less than signs and greater than signs, there's no equal to at all. We know we're dealing with parentheses. You know that part. So we must put these on the correct, both of these on the correct spot, because again, it has to cup around the shaded region. So here, and not hit the back again. So here, in order to cup around the shaded region, that means the parenthesis would have to be on this side. And the parenthesis has to be on this side right here. Now, there's something else before we can do interval notation for this one that I need to add. We're going to do that in the next video. But the thing I do want you to understand and remember is, if you look at each one of these, and I'm going to draw this for instance, and I'm going to mark it out because it's going to be wrong. Because I want you to do it. I don't want you to do it this way because it would be wrong. If you look at the way I did it, I did not put the parenthesis back here behind the line. I didn't put the parenthesis in front of the line up here. I put it directly on the line right there. So here, again, we didn't put it in front of the line. We didn't put it behind the line. We put it directly on that line. So here, do not do it this way. Make sure you put it directly on the line for every piece. Because if you do not, that means something totally different. That means you're adding more numbers or subtracting numbers away from the original answer. So again, put it on the line. On the line. All right, so this is wrong. Bad, 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 bad. All right, so in the next video, we're going to move in more in depth so we can do this part here with interval notation. All right, so I'll see you in the next video.